Hi, everybody. I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I am an immigration attorney and I come on here live to answer your immigration questions. So, this is really a good opportunity for you to ask immigration questions. If you're interested in learning more about immigration, if you're in the process of applying for a visa, if you're thinking about it, if you want to see if you qualify, all of these different things, you can go ahead and ask me a question. Just type it into the chat and I will answer it for you. Just a little bit about me if you've never joined me before. Again, my name is Pratibha Agarwal. I'm streaming live on multiple platforms. Our handle is at Agarwal Immigration on Facebook and on TikTok, where I'm streaming right now. So feel free to put your question in here. If you don't already like us or follow us, make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok, because then you'll be notified every time we go live. If you have friends that have immigration concerns, that are considering applying for status or have questions, make sure you share this with them, because then they can log on and ask questions as well. Okay, if you'd like to do a confidential consultation, which many people do, feel free to call our office, 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. So feel free to call our office. We can schedule a consultation for you, and we handle literally all types of immigration issues. So if you want to ask about employment-based, work-based visa or green card, right now is H-1B season. H-1Bs were selected recently in the lottery. If you have questions about that, we're handling a number of them right now, and I'd love to assist you with that. So feel free to go ahead and type your question in here if you think it's quick and easy for me to answer right now. And if you want to have a longer, more in-depth consultation, call our office, 703-348-1663. Another thing, if you want to schedule a consultation with me kind of on your own right now, you can do that by going onto our Facebook page, which is at Agarwal Immigration. So you can go in and schedule a consultation. You see my calendar, you see my availability, and you can pay for it right there. And we'd be happy to help you with that. So today I'm talking all about green cards, all about green cards. So if you have green card questions, put them in, any kind of green card. Okay, so I want to start off with my first question that came up about green cards. If you have other questions, feel free to put it in too, but we are starting off just chatting about green cards because these are some of the questions that have popped up. Okay, how long do you have to be married to get a green card? So how long do you have to be married to get a green card? You can literally apply for a marriage-based green card the day after you are married, or even the same day that you are married. Some of our clients, if they know they're going to get married on a certain date and they want to put that application in, will hire us before they actually get married. So we are able to put the application together for the most part, especially if they've been living with their spouse or they have bona fide marriage evidence, which means basically evidence showing that they're married and not just for immigration purposes. So we're pretty much able to put the whole application together. And then when they get married is when we add that last marriage certificate, right? That marriage certificate that comes in. So you don't have to be married for a certain amount of time before you file for a marriage-based green card. You can file as soon as you are married. As long as you are married, you can file for a marriage-based green card. So that comes as a surprise to a lot of people, but take advantage of it and file right away. Just make sure you have enough evidence to show that it is a real marriage and not just for immigration purposes. Okay? Just make sure it's a real marriage and not just for immigration purposes. Okay. One thing to note is that if you're married less than 2 years at the time you apply for, time you receive your green card, if the marriage is less than 2 years, you're only going to get a 2-year conditional green card. At the end of that, you will have to show that you are still married. The marriage is real, not just for immigration. And once you do that, you will get a permanent 10-year green card. Okay, so you start off kind of with a 2-year green card if you have a short marriage. And then after those 2 years, you remove the conditions and you get a permanent 10-year green card. All right, some people ask, what's the difference between a 2-year green card and a 10-year green card? Again, what is the difference between a 2-year green card and a 10-year green card? For all intents and purposes, it acts in the same way, right? The 2-year one only lasts for 2 years. However, if you don't remove conditions, if you don't apply for a 10-year green card, you are put in removal proceedings. So that is the difference between the 2-year and the 10-year. But in terms of travel and work and your permission to be in the U.S., they are exactly the same, the 2-year green card and the 10-year green card. Okay? Thanks for putting your questions in here. Say hi if you are joining me for the first time. Mohammed is joining me on Facebook. Hi, Mohammed. Nice to see you. If you would like to put an immigration question in, a green card question in, since we're talking about green cards today, please go ahead and do that. Okay. All right, great. Here's another one. Can I lose my green card if I get divorced? Right? Can I lose my green card if I get divorced? So the answer is if you have that 10-year green card, it doesn't matter. They're not asking about your divorce or anything like that. If you have a 10-year green card, if you get divorced, it doesn't really make that big of a difference. We want to protect against fraud marriage, though, right? So if you got married and it was just for immigration purposes and you were somehow able to go from a 2-year green card to a 10-year green card, you just want that could be problematic. We don't encourage fraud marriages. Somebody called me today and told me right out that they had a fraudulent marriage. Our firm will not help you with a green card application in a fraud marriage. I just want to put that out there. Okay. It's very, very problematic. Do not enter into a fraud marriage. It is not worth the consequences. I'm telling you this right now. It is not worth the consequences. You may not qualify for anything at all if you enter into a fraud marriage. So don't do that. Don't enter into a fraud marriage. You're putting yourself at risk and the consequences are really, really grave. So I would say do not do that. Even if you later become eligible for something, you will have a difficult time getting it if you have entered into a fraud marriage. Okay, so that is my 2 cents here today. All right, but essentially, if you have a 10-year green card, the question that I was trying to answer is, can I lose my green card if I get divorced? So essentially, most likely, no. If you have a 10-year green card and you get divorced, it's not going to impact your green card process, right? You may be asked about it at some point and you just want to be honest about it. The marriage didn't work out. Many marriages don't work out, and that's okay. That's totally okay. All right. I have some questions here on TikTok. Let's see. Prithvi says, hi, Prithvi. Nice to see you. Someone is asking, an EB-1A and I-485 approval takes how much time to get an approval? So it depends on which country you are from. You can see which ones they're processing right now. If it's current, so if you look online and it says it's current and you're applying for an EB-1A along with an adjustment of status application, it's most likely current, which means that a visa or a green card is available. That means that it'll probably take about 1.5 years or so, I think, to get the I-485, the adjustment of status green card application approved. So the EB-1 itself is you can premium process it to be adjudicated, to be decided in 2 weeks. So you can definitely do that. Okay. All right. Prithvi says, I want to apply for a VAWA. What can I do? Great. Great. What is a VAWA application? If you're wondering and no one has applied for VAWA or no one knows about VAWA here, VAWA is a green card application for people that are, in our clients that apply for it, they're usually married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, and their spouse is abusive and not helping them with the green card application, right? So abusive can be physical abuse. Many times for us, it is emotional abuse, psychological and verbal abuse, meaning the spouse is calling you names, the spouse is threatening deportation, the spouse is incredibly controlling. So you can apply for a green card on your own if you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. If you want to get started with a VAWA application, call our office. We do this all the time. We help a lot of people with VAWA applications. So call our office. I would encourage you to schedule a consultation. They are 30 minutes long. They go longer if needed, but usually in about 30 minutes, we are able to see if you're eligible for VAWA. So we'll ask you some questions, see if you're eligible, walk you through that full VAWA process and everything that's involved. We show demonstratives, if you know what those are. They're basically just a screen where we can walk you through the steps of each step in that green card application process. So if you're interested in VAWA, I would love for you to reach out. I'd be happy to help you apply for that. I would be happy to work with you on that. So call our office. We'll walk you through whether or not you're eligible and walk you through all of the steps and everything that's involved. Okay, we're at 703-348-1663. We're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. So I know some of you are in West Coast time. We're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. Big thing that you should remember is we can help you no matter where in the U.S. you are located. Immigration is a federal practice, so no matter where in the U.S. you are, we can help you with your immigration case. If you're thinking of VAWA or another green card application, we can certainly work with you, and there's no problem at all to work with you. We do most of our cases, most of our meetings on Zoom. We use the phone, obviously. You can email us documents, mail us documents. So there's no need to come into the office unless you want to. Some of our clients do like to come into the office, and some of them drive long distances to come and visit us in the office, and I'm happy to see you here if that is what you would like to do. Okay, we're in Arlington, Virginia, but no matter where in the US you are, we can help you with your immigration applications. All right, call us if we can help. 703-348-1663. They're saying, what happens if my application for citizenship is over 120 days? Usually the citizenship application takes a little over 6 months, so I don't think it's outside of normal processing times. Just wait. I think you'll get an interview. Be prepared for the interview, study for the interview. Once you have your interview, usually things go pretty smoothly. I would not worry if it's only been 120 days. Okay. Marcos says, I applied for an I-130 for my wife last month and they sent a receipt number. What is the next step? Great. So an I-130 is the first step in the green card process. It depends, Marcos, on if your wife is here in the U.S. or if your wife is abroad. So the I-130, if it gets approved, hopefully it'll get approved. If your wife is not in the U.S., the next step is that the case gets transferred over to the National Visa Center. It will get approved usually in about 9 months. I would say approximately 9 months it will get approved. And then once it's approved, it'll get transferred over to the National Visa Center. They will create a case for you, which is like an online portal, and you will go in and fill out an application and upload documents. Upload documents that they want. The process can take a little bit of time, at least a couple of years. If we can help you with it, reach out to us. We do these green cards all the time, especially marriage-based green cards for people from abroad. So if you have questions, if you want to have a consultation, I'd be happy to chat with you about that. And you can reach me at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. And listen, if you guys have not liked the page yet, make sure you like the page. We're at Agarwal Immigration on Facebook and on TikTok. It's Agarwal Immigration on Facebook and on TikTok. And if you know others that have immigration questions, please go ahead and share this with them too. Okay. Saeed Amir is saying, we did an interview 4 months ago, still no response. What can we do? It's a marriage-based interview. You call the field office if you have that number where you had your interview. Call USCIS and see what's happening with the case. If nothing is happening, sometimes it can take over a year if it gets put in administrative processing. The good thing is if you did a marriage-based interview, you can just continue to renew your work authorization, continue to renew your travel authorization while they're making that decision. So hopefully it won't disturb your life too much while they're waiting to make this decision. I know it's unsettling. I know you want that decision quickly, but the good thing is you can renew your work authorization and your travel authorization while this application is pending. Okay. Hi, Max. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Damn USA saying, I applied for my citizenship 6 months ago. Can I apply for my wife's visa? She is in India. So if you are a green card holder, yes, you can apply for your wife's green card. You can do that even when you're a green card holder. So that should be fine. Go ahead and do that. And your citizenship, it takes over 6 months. So hopefully you will get an interview in less than a year. All right. But now it's taking a little bit long. Okay. Manpreet says, ma'am, my wife is a Canadian citizen, but I have a work permit here. Can she stay with me? You can apply. I mean, she can come in. If she's a Canadian citizen, she should be able to enter and be here for a short amount of time, but she can't necessarily stay here. If you have a work permit, you will have to wait to get a green card to be able to sponsor your spouse, right? If you have a work permit based on something else, like an F1, you might be able to bring her in as a dependent. So depends on what your status is. Unfortunately, and getting into all of that here is a little bit hard, but if you want to call us and schedule some time to chat, I would love to chat with you, Manpreet. You can reach me at 703-348-1663. We do our consultations by phone, by Zoom, and in person for those of you that want to come in. All right, great. Thera says, I already did an interview. This is a citizenship interview, and they wanted additional papers, and she submitted what they wanted, and it's been 120 days. So you can call, I would say call customer service and see what's taking so long, and you can ask them to speed it up if it's outside of normal processing time. So if it's beyond, if your receipt date is beyond, it's basically earlier than what they're currently processing, they might send in some inquiries. So you can do that. I would say reach out to them. Worst comes to worst, you can always sue the government. Some people don't want to do that. I don't necessarily advise jumping to it, but it is an option if you wanted to do that. Okay, call us if I can help you. 703-348-1663. Warfa says, I'm coming to Virginia. Great. Come to Virginia. I'd love to see you in person if you would like to come in for a consultation. We're in Arlington, Virginia, which is right outside of DC. All right. Which state can I make an Indian passport? Sorry, I'm losing some questions here. Mine is expired and I don't have any status here. You can go to any Indian embassy. So there's one in DC. You can go to one in New York. So I would Google where are the embassies and you can go there. All right. Someone is asking, if I'm married to a green card holder, can I apply for VAWA? Yes. So if you qualify for a VAWA and you're married to a green card holder, yes, you can apply for a VAWA. You can, it's a self-petition. It's a green card application. You can either be married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. If you qualify, you'll get work authorization, you'll get travel authorization, and a green card in about 2 to 2.5 years, all without the help of your spouse. Give us a call if we can help you, 703-348-1663. Marfa says, I called you guys and left a voicemail. Perfect. We call our clients back. Anyone that leaves a voicemail, anyone that we have a missed call from, if we miss your call for some reason, we give you all a call back. I would suggest leaving a voicemail just because then we know for sure that we will call you back. We don't miss you. We don't accidentally miss you by chance. Call us at 703-348-1663. Great. And some new folks here are following us and liking us. Make sure that you follow us, like us if you don't already. We're at Agarwal Immigration on both Facebook and on TikTok. I am happy to meet with you for a consultation. We're doing them by Zoom or by phone and in person if you want to come into the office in person. Okay. Here's another question. Does an expired green card lead to removal? Does an expired green card lead to removal? So if you have a 2-year conditional green card and you have not renewed it because your spouse won't help or some other reason, or you haven't applied for the removal of conditions, it will lead to removal, right? So if you have a 2-year conditional green card and you never applied to remove conditions, it will lead to removal. You will be put in removal proceedings. You will have to go to immigration court. Call us if we can help you with removing those conditions, even if your spouse won't help you. All right, we're at 703-348-1663. Again, 703-348-1663. Another question, if you have a 10-year green card and you fail to renew it, can you get deported? If you have a 10-year green card and you don't renew it, can you get deported? No, right? You can get deported for other reasons, but not for failing to renew a 10-year permanent green card, right? That doesn't impact your legal status. That really is something you should do so you can have proof that you're allowed to work in the U.S. You can have proof that you're allowed to live permanently in the U.S. But if you forget to renew your 10-year green card, do it. Go ahead and do it right away. It's not going to get you in trouble. Your status didn't expire because you failed to renew that 10-year green card, assuming you're still here in the U.S. and assuming you did not abandon your immigration status. All right, call us if we can help you, 703-348-1663. All right, great. I have so many questions here today. Thanks for joining and thanks for asking all these questions. Okay. I have, if you married a person who's a citizen, how long does it take to be a citizen? You can apply for your own citizenship 3 years after becoming a green card holder. So if you're married to a U.S. citizen and you're already a green card holder, you can apply for a citizenship 3 years after you're married to a U.S. citizen. Hope that's helpful. Call us if we can help with that, 703-348-1663. Another person is asking, I was married to a green card holder in New York. Can I apply for a VAWA in Virginia? So here's something interesting. All the VAWA applications, no matter where you live in the U.S., go to Vermont. So Vermont Service Center processes your VAWA application. However, the interview, the green card interview based on VAWA will be where you are located, right? So the interview will not be here where I am in Virginia. It will be where you are located. And we travel to you to help you with that green card interview. So call us. VAWA applications are all processed in the same place. And the interview, however, will be where you are located. Okay, 703-348-1663. Saeed Amir is saying, we did an interview 4 months ago, still no response. What can we do? I would call and see what's happening, see if customer service can figure something out. Ultimately, there are some options. You can seek assistance from your congressperson. If not that congressperson, then I would send letters to the field office to see what's going on. It might just take a long time. Administrative processing takes a long time. You could also sue the government. I don't know if you want to do that, but you can sue it. It's not going to impact the merit of your case. It's just kind of a stressful undertaking. I don't know if I would suggest it until you try some of the other methods to get your case moving along. Okay? If we can help you, 703-348-1663. How long does it take to get an EAD renewal? About 6 months or so. About 6 months. Sometimes they're coming really fast. Sometimes they're taking a little bit longer. So just as a heads up, that's how long it takes. Patel is saying, if a girl is a U.S. citizen and her fiance has a U visa going on right now, can they get married? Yes, yeah, of course you can get married. If she's a U.S. citizen, you entered illegally, you might be able to apply for a green card through a waiver application where you would have to process abroad and come back in. If you get married and there's problems in your marriage, you might qualify for a VAWA, which would allow you to process that green card independent of her here in the U.S. So I wouldn't necessarily say marry someone who's abusive towards you, but if you get married and there's issues in the marriage, there are some options. Okay, 703-348-1663. All right, I think I have answered most of your questions here. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Evangelist Emma Annette Jones, sorry, she has one last question here. Can you help someone who came from Nigeria to the States? Yeah, of course we can help someone. Let's figure out what you're eligible for. Let's figure out what your immigration questions are. We do this all by a consultation, so call our office, 703-348-1663. I will be back on tomorrow. So if you don't already like us or follow us on Facebook or TikTok, make sure you do that at Agarwal Immigration on both Facebook and on TikTok. Make sure you like us. Share this with others that have immigration questions. I'm on here regularly to answer your questions. I'd love to chat with you more. Call our office if you would like a confidential consultation. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Good to see you. Have a great evening.